Hello, today my video journal will be a response to the intensive basic course of biology done by the University of Berkeley. And I want to say that I chose this course because I thought that if I was going to learn something, it might as well be something that I care about or I'm interested in. And since I plan on going to med school, I wanted to look at a different angle of an anatomy class. And I was excited and thrilled to see that the woman who taught this class gave me a different perspective of anatomy that I didn't have before. She began her lecture by saying that most students ask her, why do we even take anatomy class? And I really like her response. She said that if you do not want to know anatomy, you're pretty much saying you don't want to know yourself, because you're exactly that. Your bones and your skin, and you're composed of that because you're a human and you have a body that I consider it would be a very ignorant position to assume or think that you would rather not know because it's disgusting or you just don't care about it, because that's exactly what you are and what you're made of. And I really could see what she meant, because precisely this week when we were in AP psychology class and we saw the baby's video, there were some birth scenes that I could notice how my classmates react with a disgust aspect or even with disgusting noises. And I was personally amazed to think that they would be disgusted at seeing someone's birth, like at their birth, because they were born that way. So I'm someone who really cares about anatomy and thinks that this woman portrayed a very important and interesting angle of teaching this science class as a way to motivate people to care about it, because we are exactly that, and we should look at anatomy with an introspective to ourselves, because we are studying ourselves and we are the best subjects of study. The next thing I like about her teaching method was that, unlike many other biology or medical classes, she took an angle that inspired or incited interest in her audience by making them realize how amazing, complex, and yet fragile we are. She said, for instance, how our brains that weigh only 3 pounds can do everything that we're capable of and everything that humankind has ever done. And I think that by making her students realize how important and how complex all organs and anatomy actually is, they can have a different perspective of it and actually learn it with more interest, because they're learning something that's amazing, that is a miracle, and it's a perfect functioning machine that perfectly surpasses any other mankind machine. The third thing I like about her teaching method was that she said that in her class, books were obviously a big and important source of knowledge, yet they weren't the main source, because she said that we had the main source walking all around us, with every person you said has to, or even in yourself. So I really liked the way she made education take a real life aspect and a real life look that made students realize that what we're learning is actually important and that it goes beyond paper and pencil. And I think that she's done something that many teachers lack the ability to do, which is making her students realize that what they're learning there will matter one day in their life. That maybe they will not use it every day, but somehow, one way or another, it will help them or impact them later on. So I was amazed about how this old woman who taught at Harvard or many other prestigious places could still manage to engage with her audience in a fun way that made them be interested in the class and not actually be dreading to take a hard class, which it would actually be. But regardless of it being biology or anatomy or something I like, I think that what I like the most about her teaching method, and I would definitely recommend it to society, is that she makes her students care about what she's teaching and not only memorize it and learn it. And I think this can apply to every single class, especially history classes and those that are a bit tedious if it's not taught in the right way. I can specifically think of one teacher who really changed my view of history classes on 10th grade, because he began making me realize that history is something that impacts my life today, and even though those people I learned about are not living anymore or they're not even in my country, somehow, one way or another, history is all interconnected. And actually, thanks to him, now I'm a big history fan. And that's precisely what I think teaching methods in society sometimes lack. They lack the ability to make students realize that everything matters, and even though you don't like something, it doesn't mean you shouldn't learn it, because you are pretty much avoiding knowing either yourself or the world, which is how the woman in this lecture began, by saying that we would be ignorant if we didn't like to take anatomy class, because we wouldn't be liking to know ourselves. So I really like this method, and I wish I could see more of her classes, because I actually learned things and it was fun. It also made me reflect upon what I will learn later on in my medical years, and I will keep on watching those videos.